All right, so we're set up with our second test look. I decided to mix it up a little bit, get rid of the large octa, and we're going to use a smaller octa. Basically, we're going to have the model stand closer to the background. We're just going to cast some shadows on the background. You could think of this as almost like a more editorial style test look. So we're kind of on the fringe there, but I think it's still going to look nice. And you'll see that you can do this with a smaller size octa. You don't need a massive one like the large parabolic we were using before. So right now I haven't changed too much of my settings. I've got 1/200th in the camera, f7. I took my ISO down to 100 from 200. I figured just with that particular modifier, the light's going to be a bit punchier, so I probably don't need the 200 ISO. We still have 7.0 on the pack, so we'll see how this goes. This is a good starting point, and then we'll adjust if we have to. Other than that, lens and everything is still going to be the same, and we're generally going for the same idea as we were in the first one, really just kind of making sure the model looks great, and everything else is just kind of secondary. So Olivia, I'm going to get you to stand like 1 foot closer to the back, actually. Yeah, that's perfect right there. You do want to keep your model fairly centered in the frame for test shots. So even though these shadows are going to look kind of cool because they're going to be cutting off to the side a little bit, we still want to more or less center her. So let's go ahead and take our first shot and see how this is looking. Actually, I'm going to get you to turn a little bit. Yeah, perfect. And just give me a little pop of the knee. Let's see how we're at here. All right, so feels a little bit bright right now. Looks like we can definitely adjust our aperture a little bit on this to take it down. I think it's just way too overexposed in the jacket and in the skin. So let's go, let's try f9, see how that looks. So now at f9, it looks a little too dark. So let's go to f8, something in the middle. And then once we're good on power, I'll see whether we need to adjust the position of that light. We may make some minor changes, but I think we're at least getting close in terms of power. All right, so that's looking a little bit better. I think I'm actually going to move this light in a little bit because the shadow right now is going a little too far to the side. Again, casting too much shadow on her right-hand side. So let's just bring this in a tiny bit. See how that looks. I do think I'm going to pull this back slightly, just because again I want to get a little bit more of an even exposure on her legs, and we'll see how that goes. Might have to adjust power now that we've moved this, but we might not have to. All right. All right, so I think everything's looking a lot better there. I'm okay with the shadowing that we have now. It's opened up a little bit on the side, and the shadow's kind of where I want it to be. It's in the frame, not fully, but I think that's going to work fine. You can also vary this up by pulling the model out from the seamless, reducing the amount of shadow. And obviously the more she goes towards the seamless, the closer the shadow is going to get in towards her. So we can experiment with a couple of different ones. Maybe we'll start there. Olivia, I'll push you even further back towards the seamless. We'll see how it looks if it's even closer to you. And then we'll have one where you're forward and we'll just see what looks better. That looks great. Hold that. All right, so I'm kind of liking that a lot more. I like the shadow is a little bit more defined. It's a little bit closer to her. So I don't think I'm going to actually bring her out any more than that because I do like the way this is looking. So if possible, Olivia, I'll actually even see if I can get you like a half a foot closer. I know you're almost there, but just a little bit more if you can. Yeah, that's perfect. Nice. Okay, so I like where the shadow is, but now it looks like we've gotten a lot darker. Obviously, we've pulled our model away from our light source, so we're kind of dropping in power here. So I have either the option of going back to f7 or going up in my pack. So since it's more convenient, I'll just go back down to f7 and we'll see if it's looking better. And if not, then I'll start making adjustments in the pack. All right, I think we're looking good there. So.